Hey guys, it's Neil from the Schoolbusters. Before we get started today, just want to give a shout out to our superfan members. If you want to help and join and support the channel, hit the join button below and don't forget to subscribe. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to get gold for the super license. So this is for S10. So this is after the new update 1.31. So first off I'm going to show you the clip at full speed and then I've got a slow-mo. And what I'll do is I'll talk you through that. So I completed this test with traction control on 3. The purpose for that is obviously because it's a wet track, damp track, and it's drying. I wanted to get as much traction as possible. I didn't want to go too far and put it on 5. I mean, if you're struggling, maybe try that. But I did want a bit of sliding and a bit of movement with the car, so that's why I stuck it on 3. You've got to basically stay with the racing line. If you move or go anywhere out of the racing line because you're on dry tyres, the car will understeer and then just slide off the track. You'll lose a lot of time or you will fail. So try and stay away from the sides of the racing line. Try and be confident and try and keep your foot down as much as you can. And be confident where you're going to brake as well. And when I think if you feel like you're going to lose the car, try and just lift off rather than brake. By lifting off, it'll just give you that bit more control over the car to stop it from oversteering and losing the rear basically. If you braked, what would happen is the car would kind of understeer because the track's still damp and it's still a bit wet. The car will understeer and carry on drifting, and that's it, you're done. And if you get to like this point and that happens, you've just wasted your lap. So yeah, so like I say, you just want that bit more traction, be confident. I think the ones that I think are dangerous, that can ruin it, is these ones here now. Now if you're watching mine, I'm power sliding through this. I did brake just before the corner and I lifted and then I was back on like I call feathering basically. And basically, like I say, I was lucky enough to get gold. I do feel like this has improved since the update, but it was still difficult to achieve. It did take me quite a few attempts, not gonna lie. But I did manage to get there in the end. So quickly want to show you my settings before talking you through the lap. As always, my traction control is on 1, but I'd recommend sticking it on 3. Everything else is switched off. So just quickly, you'll see traction control is on 3. So first off, what we want to do is you're going flat out and then straight away you're braking, and we're going to drop that speed right down. And then you're going to be, as soon as you come to here now, you're going to lift off that brake, let the car roll, feather the accelerator on and off, on and off, on and off, and then now when the car straightens up, only when it straightens up, go and put your foot right down. And if you feel like it's going to start snaking and lose the rear, just give a slight lift and then back on again. That will sort the wheel spin out basically. So then you're keeping to the racing line, so you're right on the right hand side, sorry. And then what you want to do is lift off, give a brake, slight brake, and then add another little brake as you get halfway up here, and then feather the accelerator and then back on fully now, foot down. Once you get to the top, you might feel a bit of snaking. Like I say, don't brake, just give it a slight little lift and then back on. So basically all you're doing is lifting your foot and back down. It just gives the car that second to get that traction back. So big long straight, so that means we've got a big breaker coming up, big heavy breaker, and what we're looking for is the curb, and about now, that's where the brake is. And then what we want to do is get off that brake now, let the car roll. If you feel like you're going to drift out to the left hand side, just a slight touch of the brake, but not too much. Try not to pinch a bit of that curb because it is quite wet and it will make you slide. Touch of the brake before this corner, let the car roll, feather the accelerator, and then back on as fast as you can. And then we're looking for our next braking point. I always use the curb. As soon as you approach it, now braking in, keep the car straight, off the brake, now feather the accelerator as you're going round this. So you basically imagine your foot is on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off with the accelerator, and that just gives you that little bit more speed. And then we're braking now again into the corner, brake early, let the car roll, give a little touch. You do not want to get on this, any of that, because the back end will start snaking. Again, if you did, just lift off the accelerator, get it off the painted bit, and then back on as fast as you can. Down here now, we're going to brake now. Once you see them boards on the right hand side, braking into the corner, another little touch of the brake as we're halfway round, feather that accelerator on and off, on and off, and then again foot down, on and off, on and off. So you're basically increasing the amount of times you're on and off. And as soon as it get onto this straight patch here, foot down completely, because you don't want to lose it there. It's dead easy to. So braking now into the corner, keep the car nice and straight, off the brake now, let the car roll, feather that accelerator. So basically again, on and off, on and off, on and off. Get your foot down a little bit more, then again on and off, lift off, lift off, lift on and off, on and off, on and off, all the time round the corners. So you're just gaining that little bit of speed at every corner, and then back on. Once the car straightens up, brake again early, keep the car straight, off the brake, let the car roll. If you feel like you're going to drift to the left hand side, just ever so slightly touch the brake, and then feather the accelerator, straighten it up, flat out again. Slight lift here, I would, don't brake, a slight lift, back on, now fully, all the way, stay off the curb and any wet patches here now, because this is the lethal part. So you're flat out now, be confident, big balls time, and what you want to do is a slight brake, lift off the accelerator. You can do this flat out, but I wouldn't recommend it because you will lose it. And again, a slight little brake and lift, feather the accelerator, and now back on as fast as you can. Once the car straightens back up and you've got good traction, back on that accelerator as fast as you can. You've got to be confident moving through them two corners. And the last big breaker, so braking now, into the corner, keep the car nice and straight, get it right down that speed, off the brake, let the car roll there, feather the accelerator, nice and softly, nice and softly. You don't want any oversteer at this point. Nice and softly, snatch it now, go for it, full beans. And I hope to God that you get gold, because this is a little tricky one, this one. So I really hope this guide helps. If it did, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.